Welcome, acolytes. Today I am reacting to Dr. Disaster, the man, the legend himself. Star Wars Skeleton Crew has the worst rating in the franchise. The acolyte ended the IP. Now, what the F is actually freaking Star Wars Skeleton Crew? Is this a jab for the acolyte? Because I'm gonna be honest, acolytes, I just last hope. Last hope for the franchise after the movies came out. Until there is actually something good that comes out, I just didn't follow it, listen to it, or even got anything out of it. Because, well, it was shit. And from what I hear for the acolyte, well, not the best thing in the world, as expected. But hey, let's just see what Dr. Disaster has to say about it, and let's start. A long time ago. Yeah. Oh, give me a second. This overwhelmed me. I have to read it to you because F me. Oh, okay. Okay. The Acolyte killed Star Wars. It's a period of great unrest for Star Wars fans who have come to the despise the franchise they once loved. They came to despise, okay. Fortunately, the Dread Pirate Dr. Disaster and his band of space pirates are... Oh, for F's sake, come on. I'm not a quick reader.
When you get into reading...
Oh, for freak's sake. How did we even get here? Come on, I'm boomerang around. That's fine. I am a 10,000 years old Lich, so I can do that. Fortunately, the Dread Pirate Dr. Disaster and his band of space pirates are hurling through space to find out what happens next. There it is. Our hero.
What's up, space pirates? This is your admiral, the chronically charismatic Dr. Disaster. And you know, it's funny. I remember a few months back hearing all the Disney Star Wars defenders out there, the few of them that still bother, whining about how Star Wars fans, all those chuds, better not be mean to the kids that are starring in the Skeleton Crew.
As always.
Oh, won't somebody please think of the children?
Yeah.
Funny thing is, first of all, just a couple days ago, it came out that the media narrative that Star Wars fans were mean to Jake Lloyd, the kid that played Anakin in The Phantom Menace, but that media narrative that Star Wars fans are just horrible people that ruined Jake Lloyd's life, that narrative got blown up when Jake and his mother came out and said that actually Star Wars fans were therapeutic for him. But more than that...
You know what? As many child actors that actually get shafted, I am happy to hear this. This is actually a very positive thing to hear, and I am happy that it happened, that he actually got a positive message out of the entire thing. That's good. Because I had to feel on my own skeletal hands how fandoms, especially very toxic ones, can actually act. And Star Wars fans, at that point at least, weren't. That's a nice thing to hear.
All these doofuses on social media were virtue signaling to one another saying, oh, these Star Wars fans better leave the kids from Skeleton Crew alone. And funny enough, it looks like they got their wish.
Where the hell is everybody?
Good.
I'm sure that's the question that Disney and Lucasfilm are asking themselves right now, because nobody is watching this show. In fact, the data coming in right now suggests that Skeleton Crew...
Okay, what the fuck is this? What I couldn't create a freaking undead that is uglier than this freak of nature.
has the lowest viewership of any Star Wars show on Disney+. The Rotten Tomatoes score has dropped a bit in the past few weeks, but 79% is still okay. So, that means the people who are actually watching the show seem to think it's decent.
Okay.
So what gives?
Yeah.
Well, the answer is that Star Wars The Acolyte appears to have been the death rattle for the franchise. Apathy, the death of IPs, was already kicking in when The Acolyte rolled around. But The Acolyte was one last painful spasm of life, with longtime fans tuning in one last time to see what the Lucasfilm butchers had done to something they once loved. And now, Star Wars fans have done to Disney's version of the franchise what Disney did to the original version of the franchise.
Get the hell out of here.
And by the way, as you actually see this, Acolytes, every single effing one of you,
Of the franchise.
if you see a franchise that actually got destroyed, and you think to yourself, hey, F me hard. Why? You're not the first one, Acolyte. I got a few of my franchises destroyed, and right now I am just neutral against it. If a franchise that I love gets destroyed, I do exactly this.
Get the hell out of here.
And move on. You have different things that you can actually get entertained by until your favorite franchise maybe gets better. And if not, well, as sad as it is, accept the death and move on. It is what it is. The intro, good. Fair enough.
Alright, me hearties, make sure you like this video and subscribe to the channel if you haven't
thank
already.
you, Dr. Disaster.
But let's talk about Star Wars Skeleton Crew and how nobody is watching the show at all. I'll speak anecdotally for a second here. The show has been out for about a month now. It was out throughout the entire holiday season, and my family is chock full of Star Wars fans. During family get-togethers over the holidays, we used to talk a lot about Star Wars. We used to discuss which of the prequels we enjoyed, which of the original films were the best, which video games we enjoyed playing, and even after the sequels came out, which all of us disliked, we still talked about how much we hated them and what they should have done differently. For a brief window...
Okay, I had to get I just imagine you meet with your family and somebody is like, yeah, Jack, remember how shitty those movies were? Yep, every freaking Thanksgiving you remind me. And I agree with you, they were shit. Let's talk about it for the freaking 11th year, why not? I know it's not the exact timeline, but just this stuck in my head. Yeah.
We talked about The Mandalorian when that came out, and we enjoyed those first couple seasons of that. That got us excited about Star Wars for about a year or two, but this holiday season, not a single person in my very large family talked about Star Wars, not even in passing. And how about you guys? Can you think of anyone who has been talking at all, either positively or negatively, about Skeleton Crew, or just anything Star Wars? The whole franchise has just fallen off the map, and this article here talks about it in some more detail. This is from Cosmic Book News, which I will link in the description. The article says, the Nielsen ratings for the first 2 episodes of the Skeleton Crew are in, revealing that they are worse than The Acolyte, worse than Andor, and seemingly the worst Star Wars ratings on Disney+. Skeleton Crew is also the first Star Wars show not to have its premiere make the Nielsen ratings, which are automatically turned on in your Disney Plus accounts. Samba TV has also again refused to publish numbers. Samba TV has not published ratings for a majority of the recent Star Wars or Marvel shows, likely at the request of Disney, who is an investor in the company, as obviously the ratings are in the gutter. Particularly alarming is that Skeleton Crew premiered its first 2 episodes on the same night, yet still failed to appear in the Nielsen ratings despite having an entire week to qualify. And then, here's an image of the week of December 2nd through the 8th for Nielsen, which just dropped, and just like with Luminate, as we've covered previously, Nielsen shows that Skeleton Crew was not in the top 10 streaming shows in the United States. But wait, there's more. Let's read on. The bottom spot on Nielsen Streaming Originals list.
No, but I'm thinking about it, because the Skeleton Crew looks like a kids show. To be fair, this looks like a kids show. And I would understand if you're selling it as something for grown-ups, that it wouldn't sell because, as I said, it looks like a effing kids show. And I think that kids would be bored by something like this. If it's done badly and... Well, let's just be honest here, I mean the chances of that are pretty high.
Belongs to the Great British Baking Show with 382 million minutes viewed. Since Skeleton Crew didn't make the list, its total viewership was below 382 million minutes, meaning the average per episode was under 191 million minutes. The Acolyte also premiered its first 2 episodes in one night and made the Nielsen ratings with 488 million minutes viewed, averaging 244 million minutes per episode. Andor premiered with its first 3 episodes and made the list with 624 million minutes, averaging 208 million per episode. Again, the 2 episodes of Skeleton Crew average lower than 191, falling short of both The Acolyte and Andor. And you want to know what makes that even worse? Of the 3 shows, Skeleton Crew has the longest...
I wish you had shown the actual numbers from something that's better, that's really good. But okay, it is what it is.
Episodes. The first 2 episodes of The Acolyte are 77 minutes in total, versus the Skeleton Crew, whose first 2 episodes are 80 minutes in total. Andor premiered with its first 3 episodes, but those episodes average out to about 38 minutes per, so Skeleton Crew actually has a bit of an advantage here over both of those shows, and yet it still got squashed. Clearly, fans just do not give a shit about this franchise. Not any longer. They've pumped out too much garbage. The sequel trilogy was a blatant cash grab. The same with the Book of Boba Fett,
I agree
Mandalorian Season 3. The Acolyte was simply a bridge too far. The fan base is no longer divided. We just don't care.
As I said, I mean... I would say that Star Wars fans still care, but this looks like a literal children's thing. It doesn't look like a show for adults. It looks like a show for children. I wouldn't give a fuck about this. I'm not watching Dora the Explorer. So I assume that no grown-up person would watch this because this looks like a kid show. Or that's what I am assuming. I could be wrong about it. And I would understand Dr. Disaster if he says, no, we just don't care about it. Yeah, good. Fair enough. But it looks like a kid show. And based on that, I would say it won't do good.
The people who hated The Acolyte and watched it just to hate watch, they're out now. They're gone. And the people who loved it because their corporate masters told them to love it, those people are out now too, because Disney had to cancel the show since the numbers were bloody awful. They
Okay.
tailored, that is to say
Good.
Disney.
Good to know.
Disney tailored the franchise in order to cater to people who weren't Star Wars' mega fans. They tried to distort Star Wars, to change it, and now there's really nothing being worked on with the franchise on Disney Plus at all.
Good.
Andor Season 2 comes out in April, and Ahsoka Season 2 is being worked on in the background, but
By the way, I wish for the Star Wars franchise to just be stopped worked on and just wait until the pendulum swings in the middle. Then we probably get good shows again. Until then, just don't touch anything.
rumor has it that they are going down to one Star Wars show per year from this point forward. That cannot be what Disney was imagining when they started developing these shows and using them to try to prop up their Disney Plus streaming service. But too bad. This is what creating divisive content, using writers who hate Star Wars fans, and then blaming the fans for not liking it, this is what happens when you do that. But I'm going to leave it there. Drop your mockery of Kathleen Kennedy and the rest of the bozos at Disney Lucasfilm into the comment section below, and we will...
Yeah, and the thing is, as I said, I just assume it's a kid show. And in the end of the day, as I already said, and I'm gonna repeat it just so it sticks, just let the shows go out, don't make new shows until the pendulum's in the middle, then we get good shows again, then you can continue. Just do the freaking Star Wars fans a fucking favor and just stop doing stuff. And to every Star Wars fan there is out there, I understand your pain. I understand that this happens. It happens constantly. I might not be the biggest Star Wars fan, even though I love Darth Vader and Obi-Wan Kenobi. Those are two of my favorite characters. Yoda is just freaking awesome. Number 3, Darth Vader, Obi, Yoda. 1, 2, and 3. These are the placements. But I wasn't the biggest fan. Like, I can just get out of it being like, oh, okay, it is what it is. But for you Star Wars fans, accept it, make a breather, and then just let go. Just let go. You will feel the sting. And wait until it gets better. If it gets better. Sometimes it will. And I think that a giant company like Disney wants to make money with the Star Wars franchise. So if they see that a Star Wars fan like you is watching something different, they're gonna go and make actually good stuff again. But as it is, acolytes, good night or good morning, depends on where you are. Or guten Nachmittag.